Noosa feels like just the right place to launch a car like this. The reason for that is, this is the very car that a young couple could get into and they could feel really at home.
10 years ago, Mr. Toyota, the bloke in charge of Toyota, a complete coincidence, and it's Toyoda, said that they didn't want to make boring cars anymore. Well, they didn't. They're not. Look at this, it's really pretty. It starts with these bi-LED headlights. They look really super. They're automatic, they've got a dusk sensing function, and they've got a high beam function as well, so that you don't have to look. Side styling looks a little bit different, I think, to the front and the back. It still looks okay, it looks nice, but it looks conventional. Until you get to the back, I think this looks smashing. Have a look at that. How brilliant does that look? This is part of Toyota's not doing boring cars. Now, I'll open up the manual hatch. The boot really isn't all that big. The top grade car doesn't have a spare, so it's got a bit of a deeper boot. But look, with a medium-sized camera case in that, there's only not an inch or two between that and the parcel shop when this is shut. I think personally that's not quite enough space. With the seat set for me, there's about 4 or 5 centimetres. It's not huge, but at least my feet do go right under the seat in front. This low window frame is a bit of a problem. I bump my head getting in and I bet I'll bump it getting out. Hold it. Just... I'm out. Getting in the front is a much easier affair. Look, I'm in and there's tons of space.
So, firstly, the handling is superb. It really is brilliant. This is the middle grade of the 3 grades. All of the grades have a hybrid. All of the grades have a CVT option. And this feels so nice to drive. Mr. Toyota said he didn't want to do boring cars. This isn't boring. This isn't boring at all. It's not even boring to look at. And that's not something you can say about Toyota normally. Have a look at the Camry sometime. That is a bloody impressive car. And the thing is, with the new suspension setup, there's a multi-link in the back and new McPherson struts at the front. What it does is give this car subtlety of ride, something that Toyota hasn't had before. But then there's the steering. The steering is great. Someone very clever in Japan has calibrated this thing just so that it feels nice and light, but still has plenty of feel and response. And that's what you want in a car, whether it's a family car or a fun car or a sports car. It's got to be fun to drive. Then there's the money. There's quite a gap between the bottom and the top. The bottom grade, as I said, is gone, and that is because people were aiming for the second tier of car. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I think a fleet car might appeal to some people that don't want to spend very much money. On the bright side, the interior of this car is absolutely brilliant. The feel of the dashboard is incredibly soft. It feels like an expensive material, something you might get in a BMW or an Audi or whatever. Not pretending this is a BMW or Audi, but that's what it feels like. Dashboard is different on the hybrid to the non-hybrid models, but nonetheless very easy to read, and all models have active cruise control. Active cruise control, mind you. Not only that, it's got speed sign recommendation. And what that means is, as the speeds change through the zones, a little message comes up on the dashboard and asks you if you'd like to do that speed. So you say, yes, I would, thank you very much. And it goes down to that speed. Brilliant. Also, we've got active lane control. And what that means is, this little mother will steer you inside the lane. And that is across the range. So all of these cars have these features that were once only found in top-of-the-line Mercs and so forth. Absolutely amazing. Next is the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a little bit complex, but once you get familiar with it, it's incredibly easy to operate, and all of the buttons and knobs have a nice quality feel to them. And I particularly like the black surround, the piano black surround of the dual air conditioning controls. And for a change, the sync button is within easy reach. Something that in some cars you've got to go into a menu for, and that drives me bananas. At the front, we've got those bi-LED lights. Now those bi-LED lights have the added advantage of auto dusk sensing on and auto high beam. So that if you dazzle anyone oncoming, it's not your fault, it's the car's fault. But you can turn it off. You can turn all of these things off if you want. We noticed yesterday when we were doing the longer drive that you do have to plan some of your overtaking maneuvers. This CVT is one of the first to have, or if not the first to have, a torque converter, which means it has launch in first gear. So it then behaves like a traditional automatic, but only in first gear. It can get a bit odd, a bit tetchy in other speeds, for example going downhill in sports mode.
Toyota Corolla is an absolutely brilliant looking thing, and I rated it 4 out of 5 for looks, handling and style. Don't forget, hit the little round button to subscribe.